Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. A great article here from the T-Mobile News. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So T-Mobile has exciting plans for F1 fans going to Vegas this weekend. I wanted to talk about that in this video. Yes, T-Mobile is going to do what they need to do to provide everyone with enough performance to handle any task. That's on the business side for the point of sales, ticket booths, the photos that are done digitally, whatever is needed. T-Mobile will be able to handle that with the slicing. The fans, there should be enough capacity deployed for the fans to have a great experience. The average consumer that's inside the race, there might be some that are interested in the network. They test the network, they see how fast it is. But for the most part, they just want the app to work. They just want their live streams to work. They want their texting to work. And that T-Mobile should be, for the most part, able to handle. Now, will they be the best performing network during the entire weekend? That's going to be the big question. T-Mobile is going to run with the narrative that they will have the best performing network during this event. But there won't be any media or any Verizon test force allowed inside to really showcase the performance of their network. So it's interesting, right? And it goes both ways. I got to point that out, right? We got to look at it objectively. It goes both ways. I've seen contractual stuff. There's another event that takes place in Vegas. I believe it's called EDC. From a network perspective, not media, not testing, from a network perspective in the contract, the only carrier that is allowed to add any equipment, any temporary equipment on the inside at EDC, I believe that's taking place at one of the NASCAR tracks in Vegas, is Verizon. It's contractual. No other carrier is allowed in. The other carriers have to cover it from the outside in. And that was disclosed to me in black and white. I can't share it here, but that's what I've seen. So T-Mobile has taken advantage of that from a media perspective and a test force perspective. They're saying this is our sponsored event. We don't want anyone else inside. So that's how they're taking advantage of it. The only thing that T-Mobile cannot prevent is the networks, because the race is along the strip and everyone there is allowed to deploy their networks. So even on a temporary assignment, Verizon has deployed some cell on wheels and AT&T likely as well. So Verizon's going to perform the best. I'm going to point that out right here in this video. We're going to see more videos from Carlos S. Tech. Make sure you follow his channel. There's some other Verizon engineers there on a personal level that have messaged me. So I'll be looking forward to that. I'm gonna be posting that on the channel as well. There is not a single inch of that area that T-Mobile performs better than Verizon. Not a single inch. There's too much millimeter wave deployed, and now that millimeter wave is doing ENDC on SA with C-band and millimeter wave. That's like 900 megahertz, 800 megahertz in some cases of bandwidth. It's just, even if you're in line of sight, the engineer told me, the best you're getting on T-Mobile is like 400 or 500 megabits on N41, which is still good. That's why I started the video by saying, if you're a T-Mobile customer, you can handle anything. And then on the business, right, 5G, T-Mobile for Business, the advanced network solutions, the slicing, T-Mobile is going to be able to handle that event no problem. But the best, fastest performing network, it's going to be Verizon. No matter what the narrative is being pushed, it's going to be Verizon. I have several areas, several speed tests. Verizon is doing 2 gigs plus in the line of sight where T-Mobile is doing 400 or 500. And that's because T-Mobile hardly deployed any millimeter wave, if there's any there for them. AT&T has some millimeter wave deployed, the engineer pointed out to me. But he did say, looking at it from a larger scope, the other areas, T-Mobile does beat out AT&T according to the engineer. There are some areas where AT&T is faster, but majority of the time T-Mobile beats out AT&T. But None of them beat out Verizon. Verizon is 2 gigs, 3 gigs, 4, 5, little over 5. The uplink is the fastest. That millimeter wave and how concentrated of a deployment it is there, nothing's going to beat it. You have to deploy the same type of millimeter wave spectrum in that case to be able to just match Verizon. You won't outperform them, but you'll be able to match the performance. But just using N41, it's just not going to work, right? And that's just something that I wanted to point out. And that's for any event, any arena, any concert, race, NBA, NFL, whatever, Super Bowl. If Verizon has millimeter wave at the scene, it's going to be it's going to be night and day. The type of capacity that millimeter wave presents, N41 just can't keep up. But N41 is still going to get the job done. So you take that as you will, as you may, whatever. If millimeter wave is deployed, T-Mobile just cannot win. They cannot win, and that's at the race. Maybe the testing will be skewed a bit, and they start talking about, oh, we tested a 30-mile radius, whatever. But at the race directly on the strip, by the strip, the hotels close by, that millimeter wave performance, it's just unbeatable. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.